Okay, so after completing my order service, the next part is that is your routing. We all know that here we have the services like the soap service, that is the first page based on the soap service. Now the next service is the cart service, and another one is the order service. So the main part are cleared in our project, and if you want to implement authentication authorizations, so you have an account and the admin services. Okay, so based on these services, we will implement the components. Okay, and the next one is to add the routings. So I want to configure all the routes at once, and so that you can easily navigate your pages. So just open app.routing.app.routes.ts file. Here we have a routes constant. So here we have a routes constant, so that that is actually implements of the routes class, and easily uh, with the help of routes type you can just navigate the next part. Like I want to implement the path first. So what is the path? Is that is the empty path. I mean to say that the base path. So you can call it the component. Component is what? That is the home component. But home component is not actually existing here. And you can say that here we have a layout page, and here we have an header page. But I want to home page, so that we can directly move to that component. So, and home component is actually existing in the part of the features, because each and every part of that component actually existing on that features part. So we will add some components in the features tab, like home component. Here we have a directory like home component, account component, admin component. These all are the components under your features tab. So that we will implement first, that is the components. Okay, so first I removed the home directory from the features tab, and I will implement that component here. Just use first remove that section from here, and just implement the home component inside your features tab. So nggc c for components, and here we have the features, and inside the features I want to add home component. Okay, so you can see that home have an component, but if you do not add any component like home dash dash skip dash test, or you can say dry run, you can implement. So how many classes are actually existing, and what types of class, and what's the name of the class actually add in our directory. So you can see a dry run. So the name of the component is the home.component.specs.ts, home.component.ts. So it's well and fine. So I want to implement the same with the skip dash test. So home.component.ts file is there inside your features tab. So here we have a home, and here we have a home.component.html file and .typescript file. Okay, so that is my first component actually existing in the file. Okay, now the next part is I want to implement the checkout page. I want to implement the account and admin page. Okay, so account and admin is also a component. So under the account directory, we just add two new things like login and the registration part. So account is there, but the login and the registration is the part of that is the component. Both are the components. And also we can implement the routes.ts file here for the specific purpose. Okay, login and the register. So I want to implement under the accounts directory, we have a routes.ts file also. So just go to and create a new file. Under the account folder, you can say routes.ts file. Okay, so this is my routing file. and here you can add export const, and the routes name is account routes. It's a type of route array. So route of array is what? That is the path and the component name. So I want to I want to add two new component under the accounts directory. So you can just add nggc features/account. Okay. So under the accounts directory, we have the first component is the login component, and another component is the register component. So the first component under the accounts directory is the login component, and the second one component is the register component. So you can add the new component, that is the register component. So there is the new component, that is the register component. So here we have two component, that is the first part is the login and the another one is the register. So just go for the path, and here we have a login. So just add it login, and the component you want to call it here, that is the login component. Okay, so the first path is defined. The same path I want to implement, so just copy that and paste it here, login, and you can just call register, and here you can just call it register component. Okay, so that is my routing here for your for your login and the register components. Now we will implement later both components in the accounts directory, like a login and the register component. But I want to add a few more components here and implement, that is my routings. So here we have a app.routes.ts, we all know that, and I want to add register and the login component here. So what is the best practice to add it here? Like we all know that path is the account. We all know that accounts, and load the children's. The second one is the load the children's, that is the features, accounts, and the routes, so that we can call all the routes that is existing in the accounts controller. So later we will discuss on that topic, but right now I'm going to add a few more components here. Like under the account section, we have the login and the register component. So similarly, we will add few more component under the, like admin component. I want to add it here. So use /features. Under the features, we have an admin component. I want to add it here. So just remove the sections from directory and features. So you can add admin component. So just add admin dot skip that test. So here we have a admin component under the features tab. Now the next component I want to add it here, that is the cart component. So you can add, I want to remove the cart is I want to add cart item under the cart component. So first of all, I want to remove that section from here, and I want to add the cart component. So here just remove the cart. I want to add the cart component here. Under the cart component, I want to add another component, that is the cart item component, but I want to implement inside your cart. So you can just add feature/cart, and I'm going to add cart item and cart dash item I want to add. So cart item is actually existing inside the cart, that is the cart item component. Okay, now the next one is to add another is home component is actually existing here. The next component is the shop component, and inside the shop component we have some other component like the product details and the product items. So first of all, I want to add the shop component. So just remove this section from here and add a new component like feature/shop. feature slash shop component. So add only the shop. Now the shop is actually exist, and after that I want to add another components like the product items and the product details component. So first of all, add under the shop we have the product item component. So product underscore dash item, that is the product item component inside your shop. The next one is the product detail page. So just add shop product details. So add a new product details page under the shop component. So we all know that I just need only the home component inside your app.routes file. So the first is the path, and path is what? That is empty path, and this is my empty path, and I want to call it component, and that is my home component. Okay, this is my first component. Now I want to implement I want to add another component, that is the shop component. So you can just call it shop, and the component name is component, and the component name is the shop component. Another component is the shop component. Okay, and I want to go for the detailed page, product details component. I want to add it here for the shop and the ID. So you can add path colon and the shop slash colon ID. So I want to call shop slash ID, and I want to call it component, that is my product details component. Product details component. Okay, another you can call it the path, that is the cart component. So path is called to the cart component, and here you can just call component is my cart component. That is enough. Okay, the next components are added in the later session, but right now here we have the home component, shop component, and another components. So first of all, I want work on the home component first. So you can just go for the home component.ts file first. So here we have a home component.ts file. This is my home component file, and I want to leave it first, but I want to implement the home.html.cs file. Okay, so that I want to add my logos, and I want to implement the buttons, etc. This is my home component, and add some more details. So you can add division, class is max and w screen. I want to max w screen, and that is the width screen, that is double XL, so 2 XL, and with the max mx auto, so that we can fix it that px4 and mt32. Okay, now that one is the div. Okay, so first of all, I just implement that component, and I will explain just after that. Okay, so without wasting your time. So finally we have a home page. Welcome to the jewelry shop, and jewelry shop discover luxury jewelry collections. And just when we click on the go to shop button, then we will navigate to the actual page. So that is my home page design. You can see here we have a max width, that is the margin top is 10, and the width screen is 2 XLs. So you can say that is double XLs, you can say, and margin from the tops is also mentioned. Now here we have a relative edge height, rounded corners, and overflow is overflow hidden, and shadow is also there. So here you can see that the shadow under the just directory, and just it's a round corner. So that is my page. You can see that here we have an image, and actually image is actually existing in the public folder. So here we have a public and jewelry shop.png. So what is the path is here jewelry shop.png. Then next that is the dark overlay files. So here we have a absolute and the bg background files. Content is welcome to jewelry shop, discover to luxury jewelry collections, and here we have a button, simple button, and respective the router link is there. So when you add the router link, so similarly import section inside your home component.ts file is also there, that is the router link. Okay, so this is my the first page. When we click on the go to shop button, so we will navigate to the another part, that is the shop routes, and shop routes is also defined under the routing tabs. So here we have a app.routes, and here we have a shop, that is the shop component. So in the next video tutorial we will implement the shop component, that is my home component, and I want to navigate to the next component. So when you run this file first, that is open, and that path is 4500 path. Okay, so see you in the next video where we will design the shop components.